Ozzy and Sharon Osbourne are in the news. And they're not really usually in the news, but they're in the news because of the news. They have to once again reiterate that they have nothing to do with Carlos Watson and Ozzy Media by further giving the quote, "He's insane." Now, to open up the Pandora's box of politics, a really interesting story has been about Ozzy Media. That's spelled
Mhm.
OZY, and basically they are the WeWork of digital media. They're basically going around to investment firms, Goldman Sachs being included, shopping around looking for money. And at one point, they ended up. Uh, I think like one of the stories began to unravel where they had a fake YouTube rep pretend to call Goldman Sachs and verify the
Yeah.
numbers in a way that was just like completely sus. Goldman Sachs was like, okay, sure, all right, okay, we're not talking to them again.
They, like, digitally altered their voice to do it too.
Yeah, it's like very obviously digitally altered as well. It's like all of the effort of doing a Zoom background and going, no, I'm on an island right now. And so there's all those different things. Yeah, the New York Times published an expose that was weird. Aussie advertisers have suspended campaigns. Executives have stood down. Carlos Watson is forced to do damage control. He's one of the major like hosts and CEOs there.
Mhm.
But CNBC points out that Aussie founder Carlos Watson was on CNBC 2 years ago, claiming that Sharon and Ozzy Osbourne was an investor in the company. Watson claimed that, reading from the Stereo Gun article, Watson claimed that he's become friends with the Osbournes, and after a legal issue resolving around Ozzy's Ozzy Fest event, having a name that was too similar to the Osbournes' Ozfest, um, they said that, Watson said that, fun fact, our friends Ozzy and Sharon sued us briefly, and then we decided to be friends, and now they're investors in Ozzy. They're part of the family. Record scratch 2 years later, and the Osbournes are like, yeah, no. In talking to CNBC, Sharon Osbourne said in 2017, quote, "This guy's the biggest shyster I've ever seen in my life. We are not ever a friend. We don't have any interest in his company. You must be joking."
No way did we invest in anything. He's insane. End quote. Beautiful.
Part of the settlement that Sharon Osbourne said that was that Watson had to get her approval for Ozzy Fest lineups, saying that he couldn't have the sort of artist that we would have on our bill, so he couldn't have any rock artists or alternative artists on his bill. But he was Ozzy Fest was starting to take on rap artists, and then Ozfest had rap artists, and so Sharon was like, "This is getting ridiculous now."
Like, you can't
So
do this.
he had to approve the bills with the Osbournes, the advertising with the Osbournes. Sharon claims that Watson tried to intimidate her to prevent the lawsuit, claiming that Ozzy had tons of financial backing and that a court battle would get expensive. Um,
Sure,
Sh-
buddy.
yeah, Watson offered to make her an investor. Um, to be honest, Watson said, "Well, we'll give you shares." Oh no, this is this is Sharon Osbourne recounting what Watson said. To be honest, he did say, "Well, we'll give you shares of the company," but I said, "Your company is worth nothing." I the Osbournes, you know, they're wild people, but I do love the way they just like direct it. Um, but yeah, Ozzy was a complete mess. There's a supplemental like thing around here where Carlos Watson had to quit the board of directors essentially of NPR because he had gotten up to NPR, and my friend at the Jeff Bezos Washington Post, um, once actually had a really good take about this, basically saying that media executives not being savvy or smart enough to recognize the very obvious grifters in their midst explains everything about everything. Um, because the fact this guy got on NPR's board is wild. But Stones and Glass Houses, there was this one time that I did a segment for an Aussie thing during the election because that's the game of digital news media, and um as a wise porn star once told me, $50 is $50. So moving on.